So going back to the violations of the alleged campaign violations of finances, it was said too that, is it basically that you made too much money, would you say?
So,
Raised too much money.
it's complicated, and I'm going to try to simplify it because it's a complicated issue. When you're running for office, you get to have a campaign account, right? And in that account, you're supposed to pay for flyers, lawn signs, mailings, events, like you're going to a dinner, you pay for an event, things like that, right? What happened was we had gotten advice from someone that we believed to be an attorney at the time that said you can also have a political action committee. So you can raise money for both, right? Your political action committee cannot be, you can't use your money directly for your own campaign, but you can support other people with that money, right? So, and when you're in an election and you're, an elected official, you like to contribute to other people's campaigns, right? So people have used political action committees to actually pay, to help other candidates win and things like that. And so I was raising money in both places. And so that was a violation, right? You can't have two separate accounts.
And you wasn't aware of that at the time.
Correct. We were all operating under the fact that you could.
Okay.
And then when we got advice from an actual attorney, a licensed attorney, that person said, no, you're doing this all wrong, and we tried to go back and correct it. But at that time, it was too late. And we, had to deal with the consequences that came from it. I just reiterate, it really wasn't about money missing. It was more about raising too much money. Mm-hmm. And that was what ultimately the election law violation was for. You raised too much money and you should not have, and you knowingly raised that much money.
And it's funny because it's not like it said anywhere you went to Dubai or exotic trips or bought a new car.
No.
So it wasn't like it was mishandled.
No, it wasn't that at all. If I used any money, it was related to my public service and what I believe to be related to public service, right? So, rather it was an event and I'm, doing the work of the people and I have to do things, then I used it at that point in time, but it wasn't an everyday type thing. All of it lined up with, either a mayor's ball or a state of the city address or, okay, a Democratic National Convention or something of that nature. Okay. And so understandably now looking back, maybe we should have gotten, some more advice. But, we realize now that it was wrong. Okay. And we paid the price for making, they always say ignorance of the law is not an excuse, right? But of trusting and believing in someone that ultimately did not have our best interests at heart.